Hi guys, today I'm going to try to dye Easter eggs with different types of tea. Before I do that, I'm going to try to add some different patterns on them with leaves and some dried flowers I have. Mainly I just picked some little pieces of leaves and stems from out in my yard. Luckily I had a few things I could pick. And then I have a few dried flowers. I was at Bowie's this morning and saw a bouquet of flowers, and I was really kicking myself for not buying that because then we could have used that. But so I'm going to put them around the egg, and then I'm going to put it inside of a piece of nylon stocking pantyhose. If you do not know what those are, maybe your mom or an elderly female in your house might know what those are. I don't know if people still wear those or not. But you're going to put those around the egg after you put the leaves on to hold the leaves in place. And then when you dye it, the dye will be around where the leaves are and the leaves will stay white. So it makes kind of like a print of white leaves or petals or whatever you use on your egg. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I actually tried to take some of the leaves and a little bit of water and kind of press them down on there and see if they'd kind of stick on the eggs and then put them in the sock, and it was difficult. So what I found to be a little bit easier was to just stick the leaves and flowers and stems inside of the nylon first. Now if you don't have an end on your nylon, this will be a little bit harder. I'm not sure what will happen when I get to those. And then I'm just sticking the egg in, kind of keeping those around the edges. And I can kind of move them around if I don't like exactly where they're at. And then I'm just going to tie the top of the stocking, the top of the nylon, together in a knot. And then it's ready for dyeing. Get it pulled all the way through. There we go. Then it's ready for dyeing. You just have to stick it in the dye. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these made up, and I'm going to get my dyes ready to go, and then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I have 5 cups of boiled water sitting in front of me, and I'm going to add the tea. And then it has to steep for 30 minutes, and then we'll take out the tea bags, add vinegar, and put the eggs in. So I have a lot of different kinds of teas. I don't know if you guys remember some of the classes when we did our tea and coffee paintings. I kind of talked about how much I like tea and coffee, and I've gotten a lot of tea as gifts. So when I saw that you could dye eggs, Easter eggs with tea, I was really excited because I just have a lot of tea. So it's something that I have at home that I can use. One of the I just dropped part of the bag. One of the teas I'm using is matcha green tea. And I'm going to put that in one, and hopefully that egg will turn out super green. And I am going to try, this is not on any websites or blogs, so I can find any information about dyeing teas with coffee, but we painted with coffee, so I'm going to try some instant coffee in one of them too. And we'll see how that works. Let's see. And then I'm going to combine some berry teas I have. So I have like a hibiscus plum tea, and I'm going to put that in with some pomegranate pizzazz tea. And then I'm going to put some black currant tea in with some acai berry tea. And I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we're going to try it. We'll see what kind of colors that we can get from these different kinds of teas. So besides using like the little packets that at the store to dye Easter eggs. You can also just use food coloring and vinegar, or you can use really natural things like teas or different kinds of vegetables and foods can create dyes, a natural dye. So turmeric works, and beets, not my favorite vegetable, beets work, onion skins work. The reason I'm using tea is because I had a lot and because it's easier. So like the beets, I think you have to boil the beets for 30 minutes and you mash them up, and I don't know what all you have to do, but it looked more complicated basically than dyeing with tea. So I'm doing tea. I think that's it. Oh, I'm missing a cup actually. I'll do that afterwards. I'll do that separately because I have some orange tea I was gonna try to dye with too and see what color that turns. So these have to steep. The tea has to sit in them for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to add some vinegar to them. And then I'm going to add the eggs in, and then the eggs have to stay overnight. So if you're gonna do this for Easter, I'll be posting this video Friday morning, and you'd have to see it on Friday probably and do it either Friday or Saturday so that the eggs can be done by Easter. Hi guys, I'm back. First of all, I want to say that I wish you guys could smell these teas because they smell amazing. In fact, I had to make myself a cup of tea to drink with my last mug available. So I'm going to go ahead and add vinegar to each of these. This is what they look like right now. This is the matcha green tea one, and this is purple pizzazz and pomegranate pizzazz, and hibiscus plum, I think. And then this one is the acai berry and black currant tea. This is the orange, and I actually did add a little bit of turmeric in this orange to see if that makes it stronger colored. And then this is just regular like Lipton black tea. And this is our coffee. Okay, so I'm gonna add just like a spoonful of vinegar to each of these, and then I'll put the eggs in, and then we have to let them sit overnight in the refrigerator. So I will, she might do 2 spoonfuls of vinegar. So I will finish filming this in the morning, and we can see what the eggs turned out. Hopefully, how they turned out. Hopefully, they turned out really cool. Did I do 2 to that one? Okay. This is the egg. Some, I'm not showing the right sides, with some leaves on it and flowers. Do that one and this one. There's another one. Some of these aren't super tight on there, so we'll have to see if that still works just as well, or if it would have been better having a tight one. Can't get my hands to turn the right way. There we go. Okay. This one, there's too many tea bags in there and it's blocking the eggs. I'm gonna have to take those out. The rest of them are all down in there pretty good. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. It's Friday morning and I'm excited to see what the eggs look like. If they do not turn out, I'll be super sad. So let's go ahead and see what they look like. We'll start with the matcha green tea one. Already looks kind of yellow. Some white spots. Dry. Yellowy green. My prints, and this is one I said that wasn't as tight, so we'll have to see if the other ones show up a little better. My prints did show up, but they're not super strong on there. You can just see a little bit of the white kind of flower and stem. Yesterday they smelled great. Today they smell like vinegar, so they don't smell that good. Oh, I can't even get my hands on it. Maybe I should have got a spoon. Okay. Ooh, that's it's really gray. This was the pomegranate pizzazz and hibiscus plum. And it turned like a really gray color, but you can really see apparently it does make a difference how tight you get the nylon because you can really see the designs on this one. It's kind of hard to tell what they are, but at least you can see, really see it in the dye. And the next one is the acai berry and black currant. So let's see what that looks like. You can really see some of the leaves. It almost kind of has like a little bit of a marbled effect too. Places. I don't know why. This one is really like, it's actually two different colors. It's kind of bluish on this side, bluish green, and then almost like blackish purple on the back side. I really like how the leaves on this side show up, and it almost looks kind of marbled right in there. And the next one is the orange tea with turmeric in it. Gosh, now I'm looking at them. I'll show them again at the end, but the green tea one looks really super yellow. I was not expecting that. Okay, and this was a surprise too. The orange tea, which I don't know what all the orange spice tea has in it, but it's really kind of like a grayish brown, and there's a little bit of lighter tan, yellowish on one side. Oh, that's the side where I had a big rose petal. So some of it's heaped under there a little bit. But you can see that side. Okay. And the next one is the just Lipton black tea, but I put like 4 bags. I don't know how many bags of tea I put in there. A lot. This one's looking really like orangish. Oh, it's really dark too. So cool. Okay. This, I didn't have like a flower that spread out. I had some little kind of flowers. I think this is one, like little status, and I had some rose petals, but I didn't really have flowers that spread out. I think this is actually from the nylon, but it almost looks kind of like flower shapes on there. I don't know how well you can see it, but it looks like there's a flower there, but I think it's actually just the kind of designs that the nylon stockings made in it. And That one's really kind of orangey brown. And the dyes to get on the other eggs. And the last one is coffee. See what coffee did to our egg. Oh, it's very messy. It's not really that dark. And I put a lot of instant coffee in there. It looks pretty similar to the tea, except it's the regular Lipton tea, except it's a little less orangey. This is what that looks like. So that's what the eggs turned out like. I'm pretty happy with them. I think it would be really fun to experiment with even more. My cat is going crazy. Experiment with even more teas and see what different kinds of colors that you could get. If you guys don't try this, if you don't try the kind of leaf printmaking with the stocking on the tea or on the egg, and you don't try dyeing it in tea, comment and let me know what your favorite way to dye eggs is or decorate eggs is, or just your favorite Easter tradition. Or if you don't really have any Easter traditions, maybe look up why people even started to dye eggs to begin with and see if you can find that out. I will see you guys next time. Bye.